Hi, I'm Julie C. Day, editor-in-chief and publisher at Essential Dreams Press. Here to give you your latest status update on the Storyteller, a Tanith Lee tribute anthology. We have 8 days left, and it's gone incredibly well with over 300 backers, fully funded, a project that we love, and now we're working towards stretch goals that'll add more fiction. Today, I wanted to both kind of talk a little bit about the project and also bring up something that one of our backers brought up. Take a minute to talk about an older anthology, part of the fairy tale retelling series that Terri Windling and Ellen Datlow put out back in the 20th century. And in the first anthology in that series, Snow White, Blood Red, was a Tanith Lee story called Snowdrop. And one of our latest Kickstarter backers has just recently read this anthology. And from that anthology, just recently discovered Tanith Lee's work. And so I thought what I'd do today is read you a brief review of the anthology and then read you a few words, a page or two from the story. This is what the New York Times Book Review had to say. In this no-holds-barred, nightmarish, provocative collection, best-selling and award-winning fantasy masters put a dark, disturbing, and erotic spin on your favorite bedtime stories and give you something entirely new to trouble your dreams. Seems like a pretty good description of a lot of fiction, especially short fiction that I like. So I actually have down here in my hand the ebook version of Snow White, Blood Red, and I'm going to read just first couple of pages from Snowdrop. Christiana's husband left her after a month of marriage and went away on business to a distant country. She had known when she married him this would be the arrangement, that she would frequently be alone. Her function was to live in the handsome house above the lake, like the blue center of a clockwork eye. The house cleaned and scented itself, cooked meals to order from the groceries which were delivered twice a week, did the laundry, even kept the sweep of the garden, planting the trees, digging the earth, and planting, offering up cut irises and denim roses to match Christiana's bright blue clothes. Christiana, her blonde hair wound about her head, was a physically lazy, mentally active woman. She liked to read, watch television, listen to music, and sometimes she would write a slim, wild novel without any effort, which would sell well for a year or two, and then slip from view. The house suited her ideally. She had always wanted such a house and such a life. Even the long absences of her husband were actually perfect. They left her time for herself and would give every homecoming excitement, every leave-taking the drama of high romance. However, before he had married Christiana, her husband had lived in the house with another woman. This woman, some years his senior, had been dark, passionate, energetically creative, an artist. She had died alone in the house under rather dubious circumstances of wine and pills. She had left behind no trace of her being, for the house had fastidiously washed and redecorated itself after the funeral and given her clothes and treasures to charities. All that remained were some small watercolor paintings, very graceful and fine, and in fact worth quite an amount of money, for the artist had been highly esteemed. This is where I'll stop for now. I actually ordered the old paperback version of this book so I could sit and read it as it was originally came out. Something about that interests to me. That being said, I find it interesting reading this excerpt because it has a certain gothic quality to it, despite the science fictional element threaded through, and also fairy tale. And in that way, yes, very Tanith Lee, crossing genres, picking what she wanted to give you the emotional tone, the character-driven, the what I'm guessing is going to be a rather emotionally visceral and dark story, and setting you up for something where you're not quite sure yet where exactly it's going to twist. No, it will. At any rate, I wanted to bring up that story just because it thrilled me to have a backer who had just discovered Tanith Lee dropping in because they were so excited and backing this project. Thank you again for everything you're doing in helping this book come to life. We now have 8, as well as our 8 invited authors, because we've met our first stretch goal. We have 8 more that will be part of the open call. And now we're working towards paying the authors more and adding even more stories.